Hello and welcome to the Cardfight Vanguard overdress announcement. I'm Shinichi Taira of Bushiroad USA, and I have with me Rudy of Bushiroad International and
Hi, everyone.
Christian Spears, also of Bushiroad USA.
What's going on, everybody?
So this year marks actually the 10th year anniversary of Cardfight Vanguard, and on this special year, we are launching the new series Overdress, and today we'll be going over what it's about. Maybe some of you may have seen our information on the website or social media, or tuned into the Japanese announcement that happened a few days ago. And a lot of what we go over might be the same, but we wanted to have an English presentation for our English-speaking players. And we also have some new information to reveal for the English version, so please stay tuned until the end. And also, please feel free to leave comments or questions in the comments section. And any questions that we get, we will try our best to answer them. So to first start off with the first slide. So here we have the key members for the Vanguard project. Of course, we have many people involved in the project, but these are the key people. So we have TCG General Project Manager Takaaki Hirani, who's actually the founder and owner of Bushiroad. And we also have a new general producer, Keita Mori, who has a lot of experience in the card game industry, and original story creator Akira Ito, who has been doing story creation since the very beginning with creating the stories and writing comics. And here we actually have a special guest joining us live from Japan to give everyone a message. Please listen to Keita Mori.
Hello. Is the volume works? Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Okay. Hello. Welcome to the Vanguard overDress announced stream. It's 11 a.m. morning here in Japan. What time is it in your zone? In your time zone? I'm Keita Mori, your new general producer for Global Vanguard Plan. I'd like to say hello to all of you, and I also want to express our appreciation to all your great support for a decade. Thank you. Thank you very much. This is the 10th year anniversary for our Cardfight Vanguard brand. Probably some of you already know that we will have another and new series of gaming experience and animation from spring 2021. Regarding details, please watch the show. All I can say is I will be listening to your voices. You can reach our global team and on my Twitter. I'm watching. So enjoy the rest of the show and don't forget, give us feedback. It is Keita Mori from Japan. Bye. Enjoy the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, everyone, I hope you're ready. We'll be diving in to the animation right now. So we have a video for you to watch, so please enjoy.
地球によく似た惑星クレイ。あまたの英雄たちの活躍によって世界の平穏は守られていた。しかし神々の消失により世界は鼓動をやめ息を潜めた。そして3000年の歳月は世界のありようを大きく変えてしまった。そこに生きる全てのものの生き方さえも。ケテルサンクチュアリ。度重なる内乱と天災により独裁が進む閉鎖的な神聖王国ドラゴンエンパイア。 3000年後も名前が変わらない唯一の国で、世界最大の軍事帝国グラントゲート。かつてスターゲートと呼ばれた惑星クレイと異界との交流点となっている科学大国ダークステイツ。ただ一人の英雄が統一を成し遂げた魔の眷属たちとギアクロニクルの国ストイケイア。偉大なる賢者ストイケイアの教えのもとに、大地の国ズーと海の国メガラニカが一つになった新興国家。目覚めを待つ神竜。失われた時の中、人々の切なる祈りは届くか。群雄割拠、知られざる英雄たちの物語。今新たなる時代の幕が上がる。惑星クレイ天輪世紀。
Wow, guys, I don't know about you, but that was so sick. The quality of the animation is so high. I'm really excited to watch the anime. And I really want to know what's going on in this dawn of a new era. So let's dive right straight to that. So, Planet Crane, 3,000 years in the future. 3,000 years later, we enter the Chakra Bhati Divine Era. Next slide, please. So with the divinity Gizeh destroyed and the divinity Messiah slumbering, Planet Crane has entered an era without prayer, a time where the Chakrabati divine dragon awakens and the Chakrabati era begins. So the nations have undergone drastic changes, and I'll be sharing more details about that with you in the coming slides. So on the next slide, I'd like to take this opportunity to showcase one of the units that is a focal point in the story, the Chakrabati Divine Dragon, woken from within the egg, follow its journey in our new Cardfight Vanguard overdress animation. Next slide, please. So here we have the map of the new world of Planet Crane. If you look in the center, that's where the divinity Gizeh dragon was destroyed, and that's why it's a large hole there. Here are the 5 nations. They are Keta Sanctuary, Dragon Empire, Stoicheia, Dark States, and Bread Gate. Let's talk about each nation now. So as you can see, all the clans now have become nations. So United Sanctuary is now Keta Sanctuary, Dragon Empire has retained its name, Stargate is Bread Gate, Dark Zone, Dark States, and Zoo and Megalanica have merged to become Stoicheia. The 6th nation is Lyrical Monasterial and houses Bermuda Triangle for now. Next slide, please. So here we have Keta Sanctuary, formerly known as United Sanctuary, the youngest nation on planet Crane. Once a proud nation of justice, it has now shrunk due to civil wars and calamities. It also features an island in the sky which houses the controlling faction within Keta Sanctuary. So guys, what do you think about the artwork that you're looking at right now for Keta Sanctuary? I think the floating skies are amazing, and I like how the modernistic buildings are representative of the Royal Paladin Knights in this nation.
Sorry, Rudy, can you try talking closer to the mic maybe?
Okay.
It seems like, yeah, you still can't hear us.
Okay, is this better?
Yeah, it sounds fine to me.
Okay, volume good now, yeah.
Okay, thank you everyone, sorry for that.
Yeah, sorry about
that. So I'll start from the top for Keta Sanctuary in case you guys missed it. So Keta Sanctuary was formerly known as United Sanctuary. It's the youngest nation on planet Kree right now. Once a proud nation of justice, it has now shrunk due to civil wars and calamities. It features an island in the sky which houses the controlling faction within Keta Sanctuary. So I'd like to open up to Tara-san and Christian. What do you guys think about the artwork?
Yeah, it's really cool. Looks like a futuristic city, and I like how there's a lot of islands up in the sky.
I love the fact that, you know, it brings up the heroism that they had in the Civil Wars, and that now that they are looking down upon and everybody has to look at them. And it just, you know, it's definitely that they still have that tech that Royal Paladin and Angel Feather and, you know, the United Sanctuary normally had. But it's like, you know, you still look at that, but now that they're floating above everyone, and, you know, even from the video, you could see that, like, there's something like that, the whole fact that they're a dictatorship, like, there's something that is definitely, like, really cool about that. They're, like, aesthetic, like, overall, it's like they're now, like, a higher justice, quote unquote, you know, their own justice.
Right. All right, thanks for your opinion, guys. We are moving on to the next nation, the Dragon Empire. So retaining its original name, Dragon Empire is a warring nation. Despite its borders being in constant flux, though, it is still a safe nation due to its military strength. 3,000 years of military strength. So the artwork here, personally, I really like. It really encompasses everything about Dragon Empire. There's so many dragons flying around. What do you guys think?
Yeah, and I think a lot of people will notice that Dragon Empire is the only nation that hasn't changed names, and it's interesting to find out like what went on within the 3,000 years and why, you know, Dragon Empire just, you know, remained.
First off, I love that, you know, Dragon Empire. Like, every time I hear that in the video, it makes me really excited. But the other thing is, like, you know, yeah, I love the imagery here, like that dynasty feel, and the fact of the matter is, like, their military has been so strong that it stayed around for 3,000 years. But my main thing is, like, you know, is it, you know, definitely part of that, you know, not having as like the new blessing that's supposed to come about, or, you know, and I want to understand what's going on in the lore with outside, like the outskirts of the Dragon Empire. So it's definitely like interesting, like just seeing like the art, like where it could go.
Wow, amazing. All right, moving on to the next nation, Brentgate. So Brentgate retains Stargate qualities as the most technological advanced nation on planet Krayt, and it continues using the power of science to defend itself from invaders while preparing for the return of the Void. Those domes look super high-tech and futuristic to me. I'm actually very curious to see what's inside. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, it looks kind of like Antarctica, and if you notice in the map, it's towards like the southern end of the map, so maybe it has to do with it.
I'm really excited to see what's happening in each of those domes. Just, you know, the fact that, you know, you look at it like as like their, you know, science, tech, you know, nation. I'm really excited to see what's happening in the domes, but, you know, overall, you know, what is to come through those the gate itself, since it's different, you know, there's different you know, places like out in the galaxy. You know, the galaxy is huge, so it's like, you know, what is like, and they're also preparing for the Void. So it's like, what could, you know, the Void be preparing out in just the far out galaxy? So I'm really stoked about this, just because, like, I was like, it's all fleshed out, like a lot more, you know, there's like everything just from the imagery alone there's a lot of lore to this, and I'm really interested in this one, just because it is, yes, it's simplistic, but it's very beautiful, like how they're doing the art style for it.
Yeah, and I think this nation probably opens up to a lot more because, you know, you never know what's going to come through. I'm assuming there's like a portal, the blue flowing lights coming out of the ground. So I'm very curious to see how the story pans out in the animation.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, let's move on to the next nation, the Dark States. Formerly known as the Dark Zone, the once fractured kingdom has been reunited by the efforts of a single hero, and is now known as Dark States. The laws here of Gear Chronicle, coupled with its relationship with the Dragon Empire, has seen this nation prosper well. The art style here is gothic, nice and dark. Christian, I believe this is like the nation you're going to play.
Of like, you know, the Dark Villagers and Pale Moon, and maybe there's like things lurking in like every corner.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see. As like we'll see where I go with what I play, but yeah, no, I really like the, you know, it's it's cool to see that unification that as from Gear Chronicle, but you still see all the tones of what the Dark Zone has always been. And so like I would love to, investigate that part as well. And it just as like the art style and what's going on there is like, I can see the little skeleton, like the spine ridge, and it's really cool to see that like it's that collaboration still kind of stayed the same from what Dark Zone was to Dark States, and it's really cool like to look at this.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, now on to the next main nation. We have Stoicheia, a new nation which now houses aquatic creatures and an undead army. They have come together under the name Stoicheia, which was the name of a great sage. The world's best minds flock to Stoicheia to be around the sacred tree. And with all this happening and an abundance of natural resources around its nation, its national power has risen exponentially. And this artwork for me, I think is my favorite because it looks like such a happy place. It's like if you want to have a life without a bad day, this is where I would suggest going to live.
Yeah, it looks so beautiful with like the water and like the forest. And yeah, you can really imagine like the units from these, clans like Great Nature or Aqua Forest, in this nation.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like you definitely see the unification, and I like that the art is so peaceful. Like that they definitely combine together, and it does provide us that like, oh, okay, so this is what happened, but the fact that it you bring up that it is the most knowledge, right? Like everything came together from like the past of Zoo, and then with also with Megalonica. I wonder what is lurking in the deep, because the video even shows like that part, and that's the thing is like what's going on there, because there were some great minds also with Grand Blue, and then Aquaforce being tacticians and stuff like that. So it's just it's this picture shows a lot of peace, but what's going on under?
Yeah, that's a good point. But players, I guess if you want to live a life partying every day, Stoicheia is your nation.
I'm up.
Okay, on to the last but not least, sixth nation, Lyrical Monasterio. So introducing Lyrical Monasterio, which consists of built-up triangle for now and more to come in the future. This nation is uber cool and sits on the back of a mythical flying whale which is constantly cruising the skies of planet Krei. The artwork is amazing. So besides Stoicheia, I think Stoicheia won't be my first choice anymore after looking at Lyrical Monastery. Wouldn't it be awesome if every day you woke up and you were looking at something else?
Yeah, on a giant pink whale.
Yeah.
Giant pink whale. Not knowing if you're going to be in the air or underwater.
Yeah. It's interesting that they don't have like a set, like land, and they're constantly moving around, in the sky and sea, and like you mentioned, like some people might think like why is like Bermuda Triangle its like own nation, but actually, like it's more like Bermuda Triangle is part of this nation, and I'm sure there's going to be more information coming in the future, but yeah.
I really like that, like just the traveling thing, because the fact that it, if there's like others, it's flying around to, and it just lands, party, picks back up, and goes another place. Like I might agree with you. I might stay here.
Mega flying party bus.
Mega flying party whale.
All right, next slide, please. So now you guys understand the nations and what's happened in 3,000 years on planet Krei. Now to the very exciting part, which Christian will handle, the changes to the game. Christian, if you please.
All right. So moving to the next slide. All right. So with the so we're going from clans to nations. So for those of you that are new to the game and new to Vanguard, initially we had clans that hailed from every nation that you had to specifically pick a one deck, right? So each nation and each clan would have to coincide with that. Now we're moving from clans to nations, and with nations, the thing is with that is you are now able to play a slew of different cultures and creatures, which is really cool that we have now moved over to that. So the label is now changed to that, and the V icon era is now over and now has moved on to the D icon for overdress. And for the standard regulations, they'll be changing from nation, where you can construct decks just using the D icon in overdress. But moving on to the next slide, I'll go over a little bit of the different formats. So moving on, so for this, the regulations for tournaments after May 14th, 2021 will be changing to a 3 format. So what happens is overdress will be the new standard. So anything with a D icon will be allowed, but it, again, like I said before, it moves from clan to nations. So this, as each of the booster packs will feature all 5 nations, and will be supported a few times in the year, and we'll still have PR cards, which is moving on to the next one. So the new standard will now be V Premium, where cards with the V icon are the only will only be allowed, so which will be clan based only. And extra booster for the V collection will be coming out, and they're about twice per year. Also remember that there's the clan select, so remember that is like it still will be getting support throughout the year. And premium, this is by far for me, I actually really enjoy this, the fact that all cards are allowed, so it allows so many different plays using cards from overdress, using cards from standard. It's really great that there's something for everybody here, and that's basically the idea with each having all 3 of the formats.
Yeah, so like EU cards with overdress were coming out with nations, but like the nation cards can be used in the premium format for like respective the clan deck. So if you have a Kagero premium deck, you'll be able to use Dragon Empire cards that come out in overdress. And also want to add on, like I'm sure some people would be wondering, like, why are we increasing formats? Why 3 formats? But the idea is we wanted a place for all types of players to play, including new players who've been with us from the very beginning. So if you currently have like a premium deck, you can still use that deck in the premium format. If you currently have the current standard deck with the V icons, you can keep using it in the V premium. And for new players or people who want to try out overdress, you can get the overdress cards and play a standard. And like Christian mentioned, we'll be supporting all formats equally with like shock level tournaments, national tournaments, like world level tournaments. And I also understand like some players might feel, so are we like going to keep rotating, like what we call like a rotating format, like introducing new series every few years, or are we just hitting the reset button and are my all old cards not worth anything? But no, that's not the idea at all. And I do understand some people might get that impression, but again, we'll be supporting all formats. And so we also want to provide a new opportunity for a lot of new players to start playing with overdress. And we feel for Vanguard to continue another 10 years and way beyond that, along with the formats and other changes that we're introducing to the game. That was the general idea. And so I hope you find out your favorite format, and please definitely try out overdress.
Right, so the changes for these formats will take place May 14th, 2021 onwards. And just sharing my personal opinion, I'm very excited to see what kind of premium decks you guys come up with.
Same here. I'll be someone who's going to be playing all 3 formats. So, and I just want to make it clear also for premium, you'll still be able to use nations, but you'll put the nations within the clan. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So it was like a lot of people had questions about that. If it was mixing different clans together, or if it was nation with the clan itself. So moving on to the next slide. All right, so for regarding support for nation-based decks, so we all know that we were supporting 24 clans, and not everybody would get the clans that they normally used. So moving on from there, we got to four for nations based on decks here. So now it's going to, all 5 nations will get supported in each booster. And I think that's a really great change that, you know, each time that you go for something that you could always change it up, support what what you're already playing. And even for the other formats, like for premium, you could always upgrade older decks, as we said before. So this will be a big change for overdress and for Vanguard. So moving on to the next slide. So we have gotten rid of the VR, and we are now, as I go back to triple R being the highest rarity form. We'll still have double R, rare, and common, but we have added 2 new rarities, which is Hollow, which will have foil cards of some of your rare and common cards, so those of you who like to foil out your decks. And there will be the Dress Secret Rare. So with that is each new booster set will feature a new rare and a new DSR card. So this is something exciting for new players and for old players, because if you're somebody who just collects, it makes things a lot cooler to look at, your shiny collection. And at the same time, for those of you who play decks that, you just want to bling it out, you have the foil versions of some of the rares and the commons. So this is definitely a cool and different change. What do you guys, what are your guys' opinions on this?
Yeah, I mean, the theme is here, we wanted to make it easier for people to build decks, including current players and new players who start playing, but still, have something special for people who want to, collect the shiny cards or make their deck all foil. So with getting like foil versions of like the rare cards and common cards now, it is actually possible to make like a full foil deck.
Yeah, I've never had the opportunity to have a full foil deck, but seeing this time round, if I get the chance to gunsling and play against players, I definitely want to be playing with a full foil deck.
Same. That's all I've been waiting for. Okay, moving on to the next slide, and one of the few most important slides is
I saw in the comment, like, isn't the VR being replaced by like a DSR? But the idea is, so like the Holos and the Dress Secret Rare, those you can get like the normal version as like, say, a triple R or a double R. So the Holo and the DSR, those are really like shiny versions or special versions of cards that from other rarities. So it's not that VR is being completely replaced by a DSR.
Such as extra bling in your deck, yes. And the opening boosters. So back to the guarantee ride system. So for this, we noticed, when it came down to getting grade locked, I know some players that would happen. Well, here's a new method called the guaranteed ride. Basically, you would get 4 cards from your main deck, still a main deck of 50 cards, and then you would drop 1 hand card and ride the corresponding grade. Now, here's one thing with this: your starter is actually a part of those 4 cards, so you're not just placing on your starter and then having 4 other cards. For those of you who didn't know, and you start off with your starter first, and then you have the 3 extra cards from the guaranteed ride deck. Then from there, you can choose either from hand to ride, if some of you, if you want to stick with that one strategy, or you ride from the ride deck so that you can guarantee your strategy. Now, there's different ways to play that. And with the ride deck as well, remember that if you do choose to ride from your hand, that means that next card will be gone. And this does add a couple of different plays. So you can, discard a card from hand and you could ride from there, and you're not really losing anything. You could be adding something to the drop. Think about those next plays. So the ride deck essentially was created in order to keep the fun going, instead of when you're going into like a tournament or you're playing with some friends, you're able to actually, instead of getting grade locked and the game go nowhere, you're able to now just keep playing, and it allows you to have that fun with the game. So I was like, this was definitely, I think, a big and important fun thing to add to the game. It definitely breathes a lot of life for the game itself. Just also remember that the ride deck is only for the overdress series. So
the standard format.
Yes, for standard.
Yeah, and I also like it that if you have like a favorite card but you only have 1 copy of it, you can put it in your like ride deck and make sure you can ride every turn. And so like for new players or players who don't have full sets, or maybe there's like a strategic way that you can use it. So that's very interesting.
Yeah, I think it changes the way you construct your deck, especially if you're going to ride into a grade 2 and you only need its ride ability to trigger once, then you can save the other slots for something else instead. So you could potentially just need one of that grade 2s for that one effect one time and save the other 3 slots instead of needing 4 copies to build a more flexible deck, so to speak.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And it definitely opens up a lot of different plays for, whatever is to come for the future.
Right.
But yeah, for the ride deck, you also use different sleeves from the main deck. So that will be touched on a little bit more in the slides. So next.
There's a question. So what about the mulligan? And the mulligan rule remains the same.
Oh yeah. So mulligan rule.
Yes. So the mulligan rule remains the same also, and of course you have to start with grade 0. So as it shows here in the slide, that usually when you ride from your right deck, you have to discard 1 card. But when you're starting the game in a grade 0, you don't have to drop at the hand, so you'll still be starting with 5 cards.
Yep. All right. So moving on to the next slide. Okay, so a new mechanic that's been added, introducing the strongest trigger, 1 per deck, the over trigger. So the over trigger is a new special thing added to for overdress, and with the over trigger, when it's revealed, so either by drive check or damage check, you are given 100 million power. So not 10,000, not 100,000, 100 million power. So for this, each way of it being revealed gives it a different ability. So one, if you reveal it on damage check, you get 100 million power and it nullifies that damage. So what that means is when it nullifies that damage, it's kind of like a pseudo heal trigger, except you're not pulling a card from your damage zone. You're nullifying that damage, and then the over trigger then goes away, which allows you to also play very defensively. In certain aspects, it's definitely to turn around a game if you might be behind. And then also when it's revealed as a drive check, you get 100 million powers plus an additional effect. So for this card specifically, you get another 100 million power. So the whole point there is just to, maybe push for that end game right there. And it's definitely something to come back in a game where it's, high stakes. Yes, you only get 1, but the thing is, it's definitely something that can turn around an entire game.
Yeah, it'll definitely make for a lot of game-changing, memorable moments. And I think you're playing, and if you know that over trigger is somewhere in your deck, I think it gives some additional confidence that maybe I could flip over trigger. And it's also we should note it is still possible to guard with a perfect guard if you have it out force before it triggers.
Yep. So you got to bank off of that perfect guard.
Yeah.
I'm actually very excited for these over triggers. Having been to a lot of tournaments and watching our players play, the most exciting moments are when they get to heal themselves just as about to lose, or when you need the extra critical damage to break through. So I think this is going to make for a ton more exciting plays that will just, like as Christian mentioned, just change the whole pace of the game just with 1 card.
And
That's
yes, it is limited to just 1 per deck.
Yes.
Always been one of my favorite things to see at tournaments is someone turn that game around. So this is definitely going to be something interesting to see for future games and for competitive play. So this is definitely going to be something interesting. But that's so for the next slide, I'll pass it back over to you, Tarzan.
Okay, so now we'll be going over the anime information, and first we want to show you this promotion video.
次は必ず勝つ。
やっぱりうちにおいでよ。
実に美しいと思わないか。
ヘイガー
やられちゃいましたね。こういうのも嫌いじゃないみたいです。
ようこそワンダヒルへ。
叩き潰す価値ある。
強く優しい人なの。
これが勝利のオーバードレスです。遊ぼうぜ。楽しい夜の始まりだ。
Wow, that was an exciting video. I hope you enjoyed it. It looked very suspenseful and there's a very mysterious feeling. And I'm sure many of you noticed a lot of new characters in the video and hope you're really excited for this. So now,
the quality of the animation is fantastic. I sorry to interrupt. I just want to say that every time I look at one of our promotional videos and looking at the quality, I'm so excited that it's going to be appealing to a larger audience. Yeah, just so excited, guys.
Same. I agree.
So we'll be going over the information of the anime, and here we have the staff that are involved, and we are really privileged to be working with Clamp for the character design and Kinema Citrus for anime production. And Clamp is, as many of you might know, is really well known in the anime industry. And if you haven't heard of their name, if you do an online search, I'm sure you'll know a lot of the projects that they've worked on. And by the way, the picture on the left, that artwork was drawn by Clamp. And of course, Kinema Citrus, they're really well known for their high quality animation. And next, we have some comments from our anime staff. So for the director, Satoshi Mori, he's saying, I'm making this for all kinds of people, those who like Vanguard now, those who have left it, those who are slightly interested in it, and those who aren't interested in it yet. I hope you like it. And thank you for the comment. And as Mr. Mori says, I'm sure many kinds of people will be able to enjoy it. People who are familiar with the previous Vanguard series, or people who are new to Vanguard, people who play card games, people who don't play card games. It's really going to be a high quality animation, and please do look forward to it, and please recommend and invite your friends to watch as well. We also have another comment on the next slide from Hiroyuki Saita, who's doing character design, and he's saying, I believe that we have, in a sense, the uniqueness among the iterations of Vanguard. I hope you enjoy it. So thank you, Saita-san, for the comments. And next, I'd like to go over the voice actors who are involved in this series. So on the top left, we have our main protagonist, Yu Kondo, who will be voiced by Shota Aoi. And as you can see, we have the voice actors there for all their characters. And we have a combination of new voice actors for the Vanguard series and some returning voice actors. As a lot of people will know, Shuta Morishima on the bottom right, who's doing voice for Masanori Iseki. He has been doing voice since the very first series. So it's really great to have these wonderful voice actors. And next, we have the summary of the animation. So as I mentioned, Yu Kondo, the main protagonist, he's a third-year middle school student, and he ends up in amusement park at night, as you may have noticed in the promotion video. And they start car fighting at an amusement park at night, which is really interesting. And the story unfolds from there. If you'd like to read the details of the summary, we'll be having that up on the website, so please check that out. Next, we have the broadcast information. So the official stream of ovDress will start April 3rd with the first episode. This will be English subtitles, but roughly a week before that, on March 24th, we will have a special sneak preview stream of episode 1 on our YouTube channel. And so please stay tuned for the detailed timings. And of course, we'll have it streaming on our YouTube channel and any other platforms. Please stay tuned for the information. And also, regarding English dubbing, please look forward to more information on that as well. And next, we have the music of the opening theme song and ending theme songs. So for the opening, we have Roselia, which is a very popular band from the Bang Dream franchise, singing the Zeal of Proud. For the ending theme, we have Argonavis from the Argonavis franchise, singing Why. So that's it for the anime information, and please do look forward to it. Recommend it to your friends and mark your calendar for the March 24th stream. So now I'll hand it over to Rudy to go over the products.
All right, thank you, Tara-san. We're going to go over the products and the release dates right now. So the first thing that I'd like to point out is that we are releasing all 5 start decks on 14th of May. So that's all 5 start decks on 14th of May, and each of the 5 protagonists will be representing each of the 5 nations, as you can see here. And the key thing here is that each start deck will be priced at USD 399. I repeat, USD 399. So that's roughly the price of a booster, and you get a whole pre-constructed deck ready to play out of the box, full 50 cards, all ready to go at 399 USD. So this is a great entry point for people who want to come back to Vanguard, who have never tried Vanguard, who want to bring their friends into Vanguard. This is really the best place to start. You can buy all 5 decks for $20, and you can try which one is your best, which one's your favorite, what kind of style you like. So please, this is the best time to enter Vanguard.
Yeah, so this is like a 10th year anniversary special price that we're setting, and maybe some players might be wondering, to build like a full deck, do I need to buy multiples? But actually, a lot of the cards will have like 4 copies in the deck. So it's priced at $399, but there's no point if you have to buy 4 decks. So a lot of it will have 4 copies. And also, I want to mention, I'm sure a lot of our stores are tuning into this as well, and maybe some stores may be wondering, oh, in that case, will I not be able to sell as many as trial decks? But actually, because of the low barrier of entry, it's really easier for players to buy, and really easier to recommend to friends to try it out. So definitely, and one player can try out different nations. So so players, please invite your friends to try out, and also please note, different region might have different prices. So please check with your local store.
All right, let's move on to the next slide, please. So just 1 week after the 5 start decks are released, we'll be releasing the first booster, Genesis of the 5 Grids. You can immediately buff up the start decks that you have, so please look forward to this. So more upcoming products planned will be the second booster in July, and a V Premium format product. So V Collection coming summer 2021. Next slide, please. So here's our product release schedule all the way up to August. Please have a look.
And I think this is the first time we were revealing this, but for like the release dates for June, July, and August, and especially August, the premium product, what that means is it's a product for the premium format. And more details will be coming soon, and that will be English original product for the premium series.
All right, let's move on to the next slide. So we'd like to take this opportunity to showcase some of the units from the start decks releasing. These 3 units here will be from start deck 1, 2, and 3. Diabolus Violence Bruce, Chakrabarti Divine Dragon Nirvana, Apex Creator Bastion. For me personally, I'm super drawn to the Chakrabarti Divine Dragon artwork. It's a mix between a phoenix and a dragon, it seems, and I think it stays true. The name Nirvana somehow resonates really well with the artwork. I wish we could blow it up bigger to look at the details, but all 3 units, they're actually really, really detailed, so please enjoy the artwork for the game. What do you guys think?
Yeah, and you know, Nirvana is the key to the story, so that's something to watch out for.
Yeah.
And I was like, for me, I definitely lean Diablo's Violence Bruce. I like how his style is, and I just like that, you know, that fierce look to the dark states. But, you know, going back to Nirvana, you know, I like that they, like you were saying, the dragon phoenix look. It definitely, you know, Nirvana having the whole enlightenment and, you know, the undeity era, you know, not having anybody. Yeah. It's just like really cool to see that they're incorporating that, and it kind of already paints his lore a little bit. But I want to go over Bastion. That is like right there, like that is awesome. Like it's definitely, I was like, I want to look into that lore right there. I was like, just because they're floating in the sky now, what's going to be going on with them?
All right, thank you guys. Let's move on to the next slide to introduce the last 2 units. Sylvan Horned Beast Magnolia and Aurora Battle Prince Seraph. So Battle Prince Seraph White is from Brentgate and Beast King Magnolia from Stoicheia. I think these 2 units really showcase the characteristics of the nations that they're from. For example, Magnolia is a cat dragon surrounded by flowers. Artwork again amazing. Seraph White from Brentgate showing off her high-tech weapons. I'm really looking forward to these sets.
Yeah, the artwork looks amazing, and I'm sure players notice there's like, it's new, but some similarities to previous units that you know recognize from the clan. So yeah, it's really exciting.
And I gotta say that, you know, each and every single art style for each nation, they definitely, you know, they have their own look to it, and I really enjoyed that. And I just like the detail. Like, look at that fur on Sylvan. Like, you just want to scratch his chin or her chin. You know, I don't know. Like, I just want to scratch his chin. Like, it's just amazing. Like, but yeah, like definitely the art style for all 5 units is really great, and it does showcase a lot of like what their nation might be about, and especially Sylvan. But with Aurora Battle Princess, I really like the fact that, you know, they're using their tech. And they're definitely they're stopping invaders. Like, you can see it right then and there.
Mega handcuffs to catch the invaders. Okay, next slide, please. Now, I'd like to introduce Yu Kondo's Ace Unit Trickstar. This will be available in the DSD01. And then on the right of Trickstar, we have a mysterious new unit. What do you guys think this is?
Yeah, please tell us in the comments.
Just tell us in the comments below what you guys think this is and where this is gonna go.
Well, I think you should tell us in the comments down below.
All right, next slide, please. So now I'd like to share some pre-order bonuses you'll get with Genesis of the 5 grades. So the first thing is there will be carton topper playmats, 4 rubber playmats of random designs, 4 different designs within a carton, but 5 designs overall to collect. The second is 4 pieces of sleeves of a random design included as a box topper. This you can use for your right deck, as you know, because different sleeves will be allowed for that. And lastly, a PR card with a key visual illustration from the animation. And it's not just any PR card, this is an over trigger, so you can immediately use it in your decks. So I hope you guys look forward to this.
And the artwork that was drawn by Clamp.
Yes. Alright, okay, guys, we've come to the end of the stream. I hope you've enjoyed it. Oh, hang on, sorry. I think I missed something. Yes, our sneak preview renewal. Sorry about that. So we are changing our SP kit contents and we are changing the way the sneak preview events will be run. So here are some of the changes. Each player will get 5 packs instead of 4. So previously there were 39 packs in the SP kit, right now it's 47. There's an implementation of the right deck system as well for the draft. And this time you get to bring your own triggers. So when you're drafting, you don't have to worry about saving a slot to draft a trigger. You can draft something potentially more beneficial for your deck. And the SP kit will include one over trigger for each of the participants taking part in the SP event. The more detailed rules will be available online soon.
Yeah, and these rules will be implemented from overdress booster pack 1.
Awesome. So overdress, just to highlight, overdress booster pack 1. The overdress SP kit will be released on the same day as the 5 SDs are. So if you want to buff up your SD decks immediately, trust me, you'll want to take part in these events. Alright, next slide please. Okay, so now we are in the Q&A section. So if you guys give us a second, we'll be looking through the questions that people have asked and trying to answer as many as we can.
So for you guys, while we're looking, what nation do you what nation do you like the most out of the 5 that you can play for the start deck? What interests you?
Okay, so we have some questions here. We'll try to answer as best as we can. Of course, some we cannot reveal at the moment. So, first question. Can we have information about Persona Ride? Unfortunately, we can't share anything about that now, but rest assured it'll be covered in the coming weeks. Second question. Any plans to adopt this Ride deck into the other formats in the future? Currently only for standard. I don't think we have any plans for adding it into premium or V premium at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Will collaboration products be in the Lyrical Monasterio Nation? No, they won't be. You have to stay tuned to see what surprises we have for Lyrical Monasterio.
So I think what they mean by collab products, so for people who don't know, is when we have collaborations with other like anime or game titles or other titles that's not Vanguard, and we sometimes release collaboration products. So that's what it means. And yes, those products wouldn't be part of Lyrical Monasterio.
Alright, moving on to the next question. Does the over trigger count towards the 16 trigger deck limit? Yes, it does. Next question is, can we not have a right deck? No, sorry, you must have a right deck before you start.
So it's 50 cards total in your deck, 46 shuffled and to be your deck, and 4 cards set aside as your right deck.
The next question is kind of like a follow-up for this question. Do you need all 4 cards in the right deck, or can you only have 1? The answer is you have to have all 4 cards, and each of the cards must range from grade 0 to grade 3. One of each. So grade 0, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3 must be in your right deck. Next question is, will other triggers have special effects like this one? So the answer for that is there will be other nation-specific over triggers, but each of them will have their own unique effects. This is something like the gift mechanic that we had in the V series. And the last question that we have, can the over trigger be triggered more than once per game if it is returned to the deck from damage or dropped somehow? The answer to that, it gets removed from the game when it is triggered, so it wouldn't be possible to trigger it more than once. So guys, I kind of want to open up. I want to discuss what decks you personally think you're going to play for your first start deck. Parasan?
Oh, you mean like among the 5 start decks?
Yeah. What do you think you're going to play the most? Like, guaranteed that would be the first one you definitely want to try.
For me, I think, yeah, definitely Dragon Empire. When I played, I did like using Kagero, so and of course I always like dragons.
What about you, Christian?
For me, automatically
Dark States.
Dark States. I just like it's just like I went into a different evolutionary path, but it's like I like the card. I was like I already like the main guy, and everything about it. So yeah, Dark States for me. That's all the way. How about you?
Okay, so my answer is actually exactly the same as Tarasan. I'm definitely going to go Dragon Empire. Chakrabarti Divine Dragon Nirvana, the artwork really, really stands out to me. I really love how it's done. I'm so curious to see how this focal unit story progresses within the animation. And I've always loved dragons in no matter what game I've played. So yes, Dragon Empire for me too.
And actually, I think we have some additional questions that we were able to catch. So one is, can you confirm the premium set is not the same as the V collection set? So yes, they are different products. The collection set is a product for the premium format, and there is another separate English original product meant for the premium format. And another one is, must the ride deck be in a different sleeve? So yes, the ride deck must be in a different sleeve from your main deck. And for the 4 cards in your ride deck, it's actually possible to use like 4 different sleeves. So if you wanna use 4 different sleeves, so it's easier to recognize which grade is which sleeve. So, but it must be different from the main deck, and within the 4 cards for the ride deck, you can choose to use the same sleeve, or you can use different sleeves among the 4 cards.
I saw another question that I'd like to address. Some of you are asking, when is the pre-order? So we've already begun pre-orders as of yesterday. So check with your local store and you can place your pre-orders there for your start decks and for the boosters. Another question here I see is, will there be different play styles for each nation? Yes, there will be different play styles for each nation. So I strongly suggest getting each of the 5 start decks and seeing which one you like best. Okay, any other questions, guys, that you see we should address?
One of them, and I believe this was brought up on the other stream. Do you draw when you go first? So for that, so there will be a mechanic where essentially, if you're going first, you do not, you do draw, but the player 2 will be allowed to ride and draw from there. But there will be more information on that in the future.
Yes, so there is a draw at the start for the draw phase, but the starting Vanguard has the ability when it's rode upon, if you're going second, you can draw a card. So that's not a game rule, but an ability from the first Vanguard.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe we could take a few more.
So for the questions pertaining to whether Vanguard Zero International will be receiving the sleeves. We can't answer that at the moment, but we are working on it. I see another question here that says, will booster packs stay at the same price? Yes, they will be staying at the same price.
But still, we encourage you to check with your stores.
Yes, please check with your local stores.
Okay.
Do we need, another question is, do we need a drop card for our grade 0 since it's the start of the deck? No, you do not. Shall we do one last question?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll scroll through and see what we can get. Okay, I see one about BSF and tournaments. So I'd like to state that we are working on having a large-scale online tournament that we are aiming for May. So please look forward to more details in the future on our websites. Okay, so that was the last question. Thank you everyone for tuning into our stream. Tyre-san, do you have anything to say before we go?
So thank you again for tuning into our stream. And also, again, I would like to thank everyone for supporting us, and we wouldn't have been able to reach our 10th anniversary without you. And for me personally, I've been involved in the Cardfight Vanguard English version from the start with development and promotions and organizing events. So really, thank you everyone for your support, and please continue to support us. And I hope that everyone is excited as we are about overdress, and please look forward to more information on our website.
Thank you, Tyre-san. Christian?
So thank you all, for supporting this game and supporting this. I get to see most of your faces whenever we go out to the events, and it's it's definitely great to see that the community is still standing strong. And I'm very excited for overdress and what's going on, and tell us in the comments what deck you plan on starting with for your starter.
All right, thanks, Christian. So same thing as what Christian said, and thank you all for your support. We get to travel a lot we used to get to travel a lot before COVID and events. We've met so many of you guys, and it's always a wonderful experience playing in a physical tournament. So we are really, really hoping that we can run physical tournaments at least by the end of this year, so we can see you guys again. We can't thank you enough for your support these past 10 years. I've been working on Vanguard for 6.5 years, and I think these changes are going to be amazing. The game is going to be so much fun. So I hope to be able to gunsling with many of you in the future. Thank you for tuning in to our stream. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll catch you soon. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you soon.
地球によく似た惑星クレイ。あまたの英雄たちの活躍によって世界の平穏は守られていた。しかし神々の消失により世界は鼓動をやめ息を潜めた。そして3000年の歳月は世界のありようを大きく変えてしまった。そこに生きる全てのものの生き方さえも。ケテルサンクチュアリ。度重なる内乱と天災により独裁が進む閉鎖的な神聖王国ドラゴンエンパイア。 3000年後も名前が変わらない唯一の国で、世界最大の軍事帝国グラントゲート。かつてスターゲートと呼ばれた惑星クレイと異界との交流点となっている科学大国ダークステイツ。ただ一人の英雄が統一を成し遂げた魔の眷属たちとギアクロニクルの国ストイケイア。偉大なる賢者ストイケイアの教えのもとに、大地の国ズーと海の国メガラニカが一つになった新興国家。目覚めを待つ神竜。失われた時の中、人々の切なる祈りは届くか。群雄割拠、知られざる英雄たちの物語。今新たなる時代の幕が上がる。惑星クレイ天輪世紀。
ターンエンドだぜ。次は必ず勝つ。
やっぱりうちにおいでよ。
実に美しいと思わないか。
へーガー
やられちゃいましたね。
こういうのも嫌いじゃないみたいです。
イようこそワンダヒ
叩き潰す感がある。
ル。強く優しい人なの。
これが勝利のオーバードレスです。
遊ぼうぜ。楽しい夜の始まりだ。
Wow.